Hey guys, good afternoon. It's now around noontime. Today is Wednesday, all day. I wanted to talk a little bit about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna actually, let me stand up. Okay. The topic that I'm gonna talk about today is the importance of self-care. And this is something that I have been struggling with my entire life, literally, my entire life. I was struggling with taking care of myself. I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about emotionally. And the reason that it was such a struggle for me is because I dealt with a lot of things that I don't want to even talk about. It's like kind of private. But if you want, you can message me and I can talk to you like privately. But for many reasons, it was tough for me to stand up for myself and to take care of myself, to take care of my emotional needs. And I've lived so many years not doing that. And I think now, at this point in my life, I think I'm starting to realize that if I don't start doing that, it's going to get worse. It's going to just get so much worse. And I don't want that. I mean, I want to take care of myself and live a better life. And I think that's what we all want. I think that's what we all deserve. Ultimately, I think that is the goal for many people, is wellness. And I want to tell people that there are so many ways to kind of express when something is wrong. I see it when I work with children, that there are times that there are certain girls, for example, I work with girls, who won't express their needs at the time. And like when something is wrong, they just won't say it. They'll just shut down, or they just refuse to talk about it. Like something is very wrong, and they just won't say it. And I see a lot of myself in those girls when they don't talk. It's one girl in particular that I'm thinking of right now that's coming to mind. But I don't, she's not the only one. I've seen it a number of times. And I was working on it with a therapist about expressing myself. And I gotta say, this one therapist, I won't say her name, but she really did tell me the things that she helped me figure out that certain things I was feeling were totally legitimate, and I totally had the right and even the obligation to myself to say something. And for a long time, I didn't know I could. Honestly, I didn't know that I could say something. And for those of you out there who don't know that they could, or feel controlled or whatever, or feel silenced, I know I've been there. Like, I've been there. I've really been there. Like, I've been in that place where you just can't speak, or you just are too ashamed, or whatever it may be. And these feelings of shame, of suppression, repression, are very real, and it's so important. The sooner you take care of that, the better. I mean, honestly, there were certain things that I had to do even today that I couldn't. Like, I figured out, wow, I really just need to take a step back. And sometimes that step back is really what you need to launch yourself forward in life. And I'm really figuring that out. And whatever it is that you're going through, like, whatever it is, I mean, honestly, like, for a long time, I'm not going to get into the details. If you want, we can talk privately about, what I went through, and, have a nice exchange about, like, our struggles, whatever. But it's something that is very, very personal. like what I went through. And like for a long time I just felt like my feelings weren't legitimate enough to be even said out loud. And this is stemming back from childhood. But when you finally take care of yourself, you realize that a whole new world opens up. Like, I spoke to my mother today, and she basically said, you know, whatever I decide in my life, she'll accept me. Or whatever it is that happens, she'll accept me. And, like, whatever I decide to do, like, and I can't even tell you how much that meant to me. Like, and I'm lucky that I have a mother like that. And I'm very, very blessed, really. And in general, you'll see that once you stop, or once you begin to find your voice, you begin to see how much the blessings open up. And all sorts of things. I mean, with food and self-care, yoga, whatever it is, prayer, meditation, and things like that. It's all very important, but also very important is to just realize that you're also important. Like, doing these things are important, but even just taking care of your emotional needs is I mean, you can really be in a dangerous place if you don't start taking care of your emotional needs. And it's a very tough world to live in. Honestly, us millennials know what it's like. You know, it's not easy to be a millennial. I mean, I know what it's like. I grew up in this generation, and listen, I'm not undermining the older generation. I know the ageism is real too. You know, I'm not undermining that at all. I mean, there's a lot of issues out there with age and stuff, but you know, even the generation younger than us, I think they're gonna have it harder than us, honestly. It's getting tougher and tougher, but you know, there's hope. Like, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Also, another thing before I end, I'm gonna speak for a few more minutes. Another thing is diet, and this is something I'm gonna show you this book actually. Some of you have seen it. This woman, Natasha Campbell, is brilliant. She talks about the gut and psychology syndrome, and there's new research being produced that proves how much what you put in here, I mean like food, is connected to what goes on in here. I mean, there's such a correlation. Natasha Campbell has a whole chapter about eating disorders, and I've been there. I've struggled with an eating disorder for a number of years, and she mentions that the way that these eating disorder patients are treated is through the goal is weight gain, and they're usually fed, the patients are usually fed tons of carbs, tons of, you know, high carb food, which actually causes them to relapse. Like, how could you not relapse after you're eating a ton of carb dense food? The carbs cause a lot of these mental health issues. I gotta say, the proof is, it's science. I mean, the proof is there. Like, not even in the book. Like, if you watch the Broken Brain docuseries, watch it. It's phenomenal. Dr. Haas, I believe, talks about that as well. And listen, I know it's a docuseries. I know that medicine is, you know, the standard treatment for how to treat all these, you know, issues. But there are other ways. Like, it's not just the medication. Like, you don't just have to take medicine. Like, I mean, sure, you know, it does work for people. I'm not totally bashing, you know, medication, because I know it works. You know, I know that it does work. That's one way. But this is also another way. And you know what? It works for people too. there's not just one way. And I think I'm at the point in my life where I want to take care of myself and not just be told by everyone in the world who has an opinion about me how I should take care of myself. Like, it's my turn to get my voice heard, and to figure out the treatment that works best for me. I believe in therapy. Like, I totally believe in that. I believe that it's crucial to have a good therapist and like a support network. I mean, I'm very blessed to have several people in my life who are just so there for me. And I couldn't get through it without them. Like David, you know, I mention him in almost every video. Like, you're amazing, David. I love you. And my mom, of course. My mom's amazing. Like, I gotta give them the recognition, the shout out. And of course the people in my life, you know, my extended network as well, my community and everyone, you know, I love everyone, you know, like, everyone's great. So I think that that's definitely part of getting help. But again, like, when there's something wrong and you sense that there's something wrong, I think that say it, you know, say it. As in the words of my therapist, you're doing nothing wrong by saying how you feel. Nothing. I mean, like, when you feel that something is wrong, like, you might be taken advantage of, or like something isn't clear to you or something like that, or you feel like even you're being manipulated or something, you must say something. That's not okay. It's not okay to allow that to happen. I mean, I know firsthand, because I know that these types of things have happened to me. And it's not necessarily, you know, the people who are doing these so-called things, these things to you, they could just not be aware, because also it's been the victim or whatever has allowed that type of thing to go on for so long that when he or she says something, you know, whoa, suddenly the world changes and nothing's okay anymore. But, you know, it wasn't okay to begin with, because that treatment is wrong. Like, it shouldn't happen. No one should be manipulated or taken advantage of. That's totally wrong. Like, but anyway, I also want to take this opportunity also, I want to apologize if I did anything or said or did anything to anyone out there. I know it's not Rosh Hashanah yet, and typically in the Jewish tradition, you're supposed, I'll explain. So before, you know, the new year, we're supposed to make amends for the things that we did wrong. And apologize, like, really go out there and apologize to the people we think we might have wronged. And I want to take this opportunity to do that. I know that might have happened, and I'm really sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so you can definitely give this video a like, and definitely message me or call me even, you know. I'm open to talking, and I wanna get you know the word out there about the importance of self-care. And you know, even, like, honestly, today even, I'm very proud of myself for just, you know, telling myself that I can't. Like, a lot of times you want to take on this big, massive, tall order, and you can't do it. It's just too much. Like, emotionally, it's a lot. Like, and you have to realize, like, you're you know, when too much is too much, and, you know, take a step back to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and be the best person you can be for yourself, not even for, and I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing it for me. And thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and I love you guys, and take care, really take care.